These are my two favorite ink pads to use with Copic markers. We have Memento Tuxedo Black and Brilliance Graphite Black. I tend to use the Memento ink more often than the Brilliance because it doesn't need to be embossed. I'm going to stamp the Brilliance 2 times. I'm going to emboss one of them to show you what happens if you use the Brilliance but don't emboss it. When I emboss it, I use clear embossing powder. Copics tend to start to break down colored embossing powders or metallic embossing powders, so it's not advised to use those with them, or if you do use them with Copic markers, you want to be very careful with it. When coloring with Copic markers, I like to use different colors of the same shade that are 2 to 3 numbers apart. I use my lighter color first and then I color in with the darker color. I'm just coloring really quickly here just to kind of show you basically how the ink reacts with the Copic markers. When you use the Brilliance ink and don't emboss it, that ink starts to run really quickly when you color on top of it with the Copics. But because the second image is embossed with clear powder, that clear powder protects that ink and you can color as much as you want on that image, and it's not going to start to break down the embossing powder and it doesn't blur the ink. Now, typically when coloring with Copic markers, I'm a lot more careful than I'm being here and a lot more detailed. I'm just trying to show you how the ink reacts with these markers. The Memento one is the one that I use most. It doesn't need to be embossed, and the Copic markers never make the ink bleed.